Hi, Abe.
Hi Mario, how are you?
Good, except I feel bad that you don't read the messages, so you went
Well,
on.
I figured it was 9 o'clock. I know.
I know it was originally 9, but then he called and said, let's do it at 8 if everybody's in agreement. So I said, I don't know the rest. He said, okay, let's do it. But it said it was in the conversation was in the WhatsApp
I know. I saw it. I saw it
group.
after, because I logged on at 9 o'clock, and then I'm sitting
Yeah,
there waiting. I said, "This is really nuts." Since it was 10 after 9. So
okay,
then I checked my. I don't walk around looking at it all the time.
okay.
But anyways, okay. I'll catch it on the recording.
I get in Moed.
I'll
I
get
didn't
made.
know it.
The Erev Shabbos.
I get in Erev Shabbos.
57.
Nun Zayin. Omer Ravam Rav Chosel Boy Ravami. I know Einlam. We established that for Avodim, Karka, Shtoroids, and Hegdish, there is no concept of Ono. What about Bittul Mecca? What about the concept that if it's greater than a sixth difference, can the transaction be reversed? Bittul Mecca Yesh Lahem or Ein Lahem? Ravami. You can reverse the sale if it's greater than the sixth. Rabbi Yoina Amar Ahegdeshos, that is operative regarding Hegdish. Rabbi Yirmiyah Amar Karkos, V'tarvav Mishmed Rabbi Yechon Amr, that Oino Ein Lahem, Bittul Mekach Yesh Lahem, and Manda Amar Ahegdeshos, the one that said that that applies to Hegdish, it's a kol sheken on karka. But manda mal karkos of hegdish lo. Why? Kishmuel. Sh'amar Shmuel. Hegdish hashavim money. You have hegdish worth $100,000. Shechilul al shavar pruta. That chilul was done on 1 penny. Mechulal. There is no ona by hegdish because you can be technically chilul can work even b'mashri. Tanan also. Yemaya kodesh balmur. You have a hegdish animal that was a balmum, and you need to replace it with a better animal. So the balmum animal is yotzel l'chulin. You have to pay an extra 20%. V'tzarich lasel l'dami. You have to calculate its value, and you have to add 20% and give that value to hegdish. It's on that, on Rav Yechon yotzel l'chulin dvar Torah. The fact that you have to add money is only at the chachamim, that you have to add it according to its value. But that the adding to the value and giving by hegdish its values only is only divrei chacham. But Reish Lakish says it's also midoraisa. Now the Gemara doesn't understand Ramaya Skina. Lema, that the original value and the value and the value that was used to replace the animal is exactly a sixth and not more. So Bahal Lema Rish Lakish classes of Damin Dvar Torah. On that issue, Rish Lakish had to jump in and say that the issue of Deraisa Vatnan, Elu Dvarm She'elam Oina. Hagar calls so we've already rejected those. So obviously the difference in value was enough to be Tomekach, more than a sixth. Now, if you're going to say Baal Lamer of Yechon Sarklas Domim only midivrehim, but Rabbi Yoina said Ayegdeshos, and there we said Kavachomer on Karka. Rav Yirmiyah Karkosim also Kavachomer. Tarveu Mishmei Rav Yechon Amri. Oino Ein Lam, but Bittul Mekach Yesh Lam. So we can't explain, according to Rabbi Yochanan, Oilam, that it was the difference in values was bebitul Mecca, more than the 6. And the Eipach, you have to switch the shitas that we gave to Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish. Micah Miflagi, B'dishmuel. This din of Shmuel Damar Shmuel Hegdish Shavamana Shechilal Shavabruta Mechulal. Mar Islay the Shmuel Reish Lakish says, because we've switched the shitas, that Hegdish that was already Nifta Midin Torah, because it doesn't need the full value. Mar less like the Shmuel, but Rav Yochanan says no. E-boy, same other people learn differently. Kulama Islu the Shmuel. Everybody holds like Shmuel. Mar Savar, that which Shmuel said, Shechilalo, that's Shechilalo in. That means B'di'eved, you did it that way. But L'chatchila, you shouldn't do it. Umar Savar, no, Afi L'chatchila, you could do it. And Iboy Semelo Oilam, that the difference in value between the animal that had a mum and the one that replaced it was Bichteo, no, exactly his 6. Velo Tepach, and then you don't have to switch the sheet as Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish. And rather, they're arguing Rav Chizda Kamifki. Don't Rav Chizda, my Eilam Oina, Eilam B'Torah Sana. The regular dinim of Oina don't apply, but they're more stringent. Dafilu Pachos Bichteo no Chayzer. For regular people, that if it's less than the 6th, we said people are not makpid, but hekdesh is makpid even if it's less than the 6th. Meisvei. Ribis v'oina lehedyoit. A regular person has an isser ribis and an isser oina. Vein ribis v'oina lehegdish. There's no ribis v'oina lehegdish. So how can you tell me that there's oina by that? So the Gemara says, "Mi alimim masnisen." Is the Baraisa stronger than our Mishnah de Ukimna that we've already explained that it's talking about Torah Sana, the various details of Oina, but not the Iker principle of Oina. Al-Khanami, Ribis Vidin Oina lehedyet. There's dinim that apply to a hedyet, but the ain't Ribis Vidin Oina lehegdish in certain details. Now, Ihachi, Hainu Seifa. Later in that same Baraisa, it says, Zech Chomer Behedrit Megdish. This is more stringent by a regular person than Hegdish. But the way we just said, that Hegdish is more stringent because even less than the 6th, you can reverse the sale. That part goes only a Ribis, says the Gemara. Because Hegdish is allowed to collect Ribis. So listening nami zechor mi behegdish mi behedya. That oh no, that there's an aspect also more chomer behegdish, which is oina. So the Gemara is hachi hashta. You can't learn that way. Bishlam zechor mi behegdish. There's a chiddush v'sulo elehegdish zechor mi v'sulo. So Hegdish is chomer from the chulin in a lot of things. So it couldn't use that language. Now, we don't understand, when is Hegdish going to get involved in Ribis? Ribis Hegdish Echidami. Ileme de Usfei, that the treasurer of Hegdish loaned money that belongs to Hegdish to an individual, Meya b'Meya v'Esrim. He gave him 100, he wanted to collect 120. Well, halom mo'ala gizbar. You can't use Hegdish money to make a personal loan. And therefore the treasurer was mo'al, given shemola gizbar, yotzu moisav l'cholin. The money is cholin now, it's not Hegdish. Bavla de hedyet. And of course there's Isser Ribis, like a regular hedyet. So how do we see the case of ribbis by Hegdish. Amr Avishai, Hoch Maiskinon, Tigon Shekibel Alav, Lisapik Slosois Me Arba. A person took upon himself the achrayas to provide flour for the base of Migdash 4 bushels for $1. And then it went up in price. The Amdu Misholish. And then the dollar only bought 3 bushels. Kedetanya. If the guy accepted to provide Hegdish with bushels when they were 25 cents a bushel, V'amdu mishol, so now it's 33 cents. He has to stay with his original deal, Misapik Me'arba. Now, if the opposite occurs, he accepted Misholosh, it was 33 cents a bushel, and then the price dropped. V'amdu Me'arba, and now it's only 25 cents. Misapik Me'arba. So there's a little bit of ribbis going on. Because Yad Hegdish Shalal Yoina. Hegdish always has the upper hand. A Hedjit wouldn't be able to do it. But Hegdish, it's mutter. Rav Papa says something more simple. We're talking about stones given over to the treasurer for building purposes. Shmuel. Shomer Shmuel. Boinin Bechol. Any structure in the base of Mikdash was started off chulin, so there wouldn't be meila. Later on, achakach magdishim. Meanwhile, the Gizber has assets like stones, which is chol, but the money belongs to Hegdish. The Gizber can loan it out, even beribis. So we mentioned the 4 things: karka, avodim, shtoros, and hegdish. That the Mishnah said, "Ein be'em tashlume kefel." There's no kefel, not a milli. The Tan Rabbana, the pasuk says, "Al kol dvar pesha, al shor, al chamor, al se, al sama, al kol aveda, asher yarshiyun Elohim shalim shnaim l're'eyu." If he steals any of these items, he has to pay kefel. Al kol dvar pesha klal. Al shor chamor al se al sama prat. Al kol aveda asher yomar chazar v'kola. Klal upratu klal yatadar el kene prat. Now, what's unique about these details? Ma prat mefurish davar metaltel. They're metaltelim. The gufo momon. They have intrinsic money value. I've called davar metaltel gufo momon. Yotzu karkos shein metaltelim. You cannot move land. Yotzu avodim shukshul karkos. Avodim are compared to land. Yotzu shtor sha'afal pish metaltelim ein gufo momon. There's no intrinsic value to a star. Hegdeshos Amar Kra Re'eyu. Re'eyu v'lo hegdish. Then v'lo tashlume arba v'chamisha. If the ganav shechts it or sells it, you have to pay arba v'chamisha. My taimo. Tashlume arba v'chamisha rachmana v'lo tashlume shloish v'arba. Since there's no kefel, it would be 3 and 4, not 4 and 5. The Torah only said 4 and 5. Then a shomer chinam who's watching these items, we said Eino Nishba doesn't have to take a shvuah, anonymity. The Tan Rabbana, Ki yitain ish el re'eyu, klal. Kesef o kelim lishmor, prat. V'gunav mibeis ha'ish, chazer v'kala. Klal u'pratu klal, yatadan al kena prat. Ma prat mefurish davar metalta v'gufo mama. Has to be something movable. Av kol davar, ha-metalta v'gufo mama. Yotzu karkos. It excludes land she'ein metaltalin. Yotzu avodim shukshul karkos. Yotzu shtar shavel pisha metaltalin gufo moment. A star doesn't have intrinsic value. Amar kra re'eyu v'lo shel hegdish. Then we said that a shomer sacher, no seschar, ain't a mishalik for gneva v'aveda, but not a milli. The Tan Rabbanan ki tein ish re'eyu klal. Chamor or shor or se prat. V'chol be'ma lishmor chazav v'klal. Klal u'pratu klal, yatadan al kena prat. Ma prat mefurish. Davar metata v'gufo mammon, a movable object that has intrinsic value. Of kodavar metatel v'gufo moment. Yatsu karkosh and metatlin. Yatsu avadim shuk shel karkos. Yatsu shtar shal bish metatlin and gufo moment. Like the same thing we said before. Hekdeshus ramakra re'eyu v'lo shel hekdesh. Okay. We'll stop here. We'll learn in shul. I think it's
6:20.
6:20. Okay.
All right.
And for Abe, we'll learn Sunday. Let's learn at 4:30. Same time like we would do Erev Shabbos.
Perfect.
Okay?
Good. Very
All
good.
right.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbos. Get the